Greta used to rush the door, growling, barking, swinging her body up. She'd spray her anal glands. Get real overexcited. And if you tried to reach for her, she'd bite you.
Oh my
goodness. Yeah, so, you know.
Good.
We're just throwing in door knocking.
Greta, come here. So here's a good thing that we're working on today. Okay? We got 2 dogs from the same house, so we need to do a little extra work. And one of the most common things that I like to work on is if I'm paying attention to one dog and I'm giving my attention to this dog, the other dog's not to come over and try to get in between and steal, because that makes me a resource and they start competing over me or whatever human, and they treat the human like a resource, which is a no-no. That leads to bad dog behavior, okay? Those are dogs that are trying to control humans, right? We're not allowing that on either part, even though he's the nice guy and hasn't bit anybody and she has a bite history, they both need to abide by that rule. So if I'm petting Leo, Greta's not allowed to come over and try to steal that resource. Same with her, him. If I'm petting her, he's not allowed to come over either and demand it. And you'll watch me do this. It's like food, right? If she's eating, he can't come over. We shouldn't allow that and come over and just take the resource. It's very unhealthy if we allow that underneath us. If we're leading, we're up here on the hierarchy, and all of our members below us are behaving like that, and they're having these hierarchical conversations. It's not good. So we won't let them claim humans. We won't let them try to decide how to deal with events, meaning here's an event, somebody's here, and now they go deal with it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if they deal with it appropriately or inappropriately, they're not supposed to be dealing with it. So even if she went over there, right now she's going over there screaming, expressing her anal glands, and then biting if they try to pet. But even if she just went over there and she was just doing cartwheels, but she was friendly, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
And it still leads to a hierarchy shift where the dogs choose. The dogs literally see you as below. They choose how to deal with the event, means they're leading. Now, they should just be in trouble for trying to decide how to deal with it. It's not so much the barking or whatever she's doing, because she hasn't done any of that here. It's just, you get in trouble if you try to deal with what's happening at the door. If you try to take it in your own hands because I'm the leader and now you're taking my job. And in a pack, what do? You don't allow that. Obviously, they're bad at the job. They're bad at it. They don't have good judgment. The judgment's poor. So they're going to bark at friendly people, unfriendly people. It doesn't matter what comes to the door, they're going to go insane. So they're not allowed to do that anymore. And here's the interesting thing, is they just won't do it yet here. So if there's knocks or somebody comes to the door, it's going to be a while before maybe they try to experiment with that, because they don't feel entitled to do that because of their position in the pack here. That's all it is. If they were on the top here and they came here and it wasn't for training and I was very easygoing and I spoiled them, they would give me hell like they give you. But that's not what's happened. We're training, so we went right for hierarchy right from the beginning, because we know that that's what works. It's not just understanding what the words mean, it's also respecting humans. That's the hierarchy. So this is nice. So we can have little conversations just like dogs do with each other, where I can set boundaries. Where it goes messy is if the dog then says, "Who are you to set boundaries for me?" and they correct you, like Greta might. Right? Greta might be like, try to correct me for correcting her. Although she's not, she's being a good girl. It's just an example. And then if you try to correct your dog and your dog corrects you back, and then you go, "Whoa, I don't have a move after that," then they control you. Okay? And they say, "Well, when push comes to shove, I win, so I'm not listening to you for anything else either." It's bad. If you just lose that, just losing that moment there isn't where it ends. Now we don't listen anywhere, because we know that if we want to, we can just shut the humans up by biting them. Or whatever, or just not listening, or this guy just going, he just goes crazy. He's just like, Never Neverland, Peter Pan. We talk about that because it's a great example of kids going and just living in this chaotic space of just having fun constantly. So much fun all the time. Anxiety ridden, health degradation. Usually they have issues with bowel movements and stuff. They're under extreme anxiety all the time, and we just think that they're having fun. But they're not. Look at Peter Pan and Never Neverland. What happens? A couple days of that, and you're like, I want to go home, right? I want some real food instead of just candy. I want some sleep and structure. They desperately just need a leader to step in to say, "Hey, we don't do that.
Do this instead."
We do this. And if you try to challenge me, I have corrections that will make you not challenge me. Mm-hmm. That is the secret ingredient. There has to be a consequence where they say, "Okay, Do you want to know why I know that works and how you should already know it works? Because she applied that science to you.
Yeah, she's punishing you.
She's punishing you, and it's working.
Yeah.
So if we punish her, it's working.
It stops, yeah.
So what was the problem is it was lack of punishment. And that's always for every dog that comes to the door. It's just always the case. There's just not a way to punish and direct, correct and direct. It's just not happening. So then we just, whatever the dogs become, they become, and then we say, well, we just pray. We feed them, we pet them, and we pray. That's it. Eat, love, pray. That's what it is. It literally is just eat, love, pray, but there's no punishment. So that's what it becomes.
Look how hard it is for him to just sit there.
Good. But once they know, so now they're in a different pack, right? Yes. They don't have the capacity to think back in the past like I am right now. I'm talking about their owners. They're not there now. They're like, this is the pack that I'm in. The position of the pack is no longer leader, it's followers, so they're waiting for direction. And that's why it looks like all the dogs are followers here. If they did not view humans that way, ooh, that's not how this room would look. They would trample all over us and disrespect us.
It'd be like Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes, and everybody would end up being, unstable. They become unstable, like literally mentally just messed up. Every little thing will set them into this state, and literally they just need to be correct and say, don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Just like a pack member would in the wild.
All the dogs would. So the way these dogs behave at home, other dogs would attack that.
Yeah.
A stable dog who's really knows how to behave in the hierarchy, if they go crazy at the door, he's going to go over. If he doesn't like it, especially if he feels like he's entitled to, or if they're disturbing the peace, correct them. Good. So now let's do some real actual demonstration here. I did the food. Nobody's really messing with the food. The attention of a human is high value to these two. All right? So I'm going to pick one here. Mr. Leo. Hi, Leo. Hi. I'm going to start interacting with Leo. Now, if Greta tries to come in, she gets in trouble. This is very important. If I'm able to claim this boundary here and say, this activity is for just me and him, and there's respect, I'm going to have a lot more success saying, don't bark at the door. Mm-hmm. If I cannot do this, there's no way I'm going to stop her from barking at the door. If I can't keep her from coming right here while I'm petting him, forget it, buddy. Forget it. So that means that just doing this is super beneficial.
Now you've done this before, which is why she's not even trying.
I did this
5
minutes before the cameras went on.
Yeah.
Just naturally, because that's how I set order in the pack. I just knew they were gonna be fools about it. If I sit down and say hi, there's bumbling, not knowing what to do, fighting for their position, not literally biting, but bumping each other out of the way. Good. So hi, Leo.
He's so cute.
You're very good. Look, she has attention. She wants to be over here. She looked at me. Hi, buddy. Hi.
And now she's starting the vibrating because it's hard for her to practice that impulse control.
Yes. Very new for her to do this. So she's on practice at listening and using impulse control. So oftentimes the vibration kicks in. And the vibration, we say this before, but we repeat everything all the time here. The vibration is her fighting her old association and doing the new expectation. So you see the old associated behavior, she's trying to not do that. She's trying to do what's now expected. And there's this, she's self-regulating. Mm-hmm. She's keeping herself there, taking energy like Julie said, right? Good, that goes away with doing this. If I did this like 3-4 days in a row, that's not happening anymore, right? This is an important thing. We're talking about hierarchy. Let's go to the living room and let's talk about hierarchy. Otherwise, they're just going to, if I don't sort it out, they're just going to be on top. They're going to roll the roost in their own brains. Good. So we're talking like dogs would talk if they were to meet for the first time. They would sniff the rear and start. Without intervention from humans, they might be humping each other, fighting right off the bat. Some of them will just be goofy and play until they're hungry and there's a resource around. See, things will change if they're hungry. They're never hungry. They're not starving animals in the woods, so they're a little bit more patient. But if the circumstances changes, this brain is still wild, right? Good. Good. All right, let's try it with Greta now. Stay. I'll give him a warning by telling him to stay. That's like a heads up, like, don't come over here. That's pretty fair. Look, no.
Good girl, Greta.
Good girl, look at him. If he comes closer, he's in trouble. If he stays there, he's fine. If he backs up, he gets brownie points. Or lays down or something.
Extra
I'm just going to move you a little bit so we have more space. Hello. Hello, baby.
Look at the one paw up. I don't know if you can see it. Should I stay or should I go? He's caught in the middle. He'll make a choice.
It's so true. And now it's just time.
Yep.
Right? Because I'm not going to tell him to sit or anything right now because I'm not after that. If he chooses to sit, I'm going to say, nice job, and he'll say, oh, I'm going to sit more often. Or if he chooses down, but look, let him do what he's going to do.
Might be the first time he's ever actually listened.
We're not restraining.
Right, without restraint.
We're not restraining, that's what makes this interesting. He can walk over here, but there's natural, this is simulated, because I'm being paid to train them. But I'm trying to simulate real life. They're not getting real life in their living room. They're getting a cushioned existence that's not even close to the reality of what they would have been born in the real world. So their brains get messed up, right? We need to be honest with them and share with them a little bit of the consequences of the real world. That's what parenting is, right? Before they get out in the real world, I'm like, wow, what's this place? They've been in a bubble. So this is, I'm giving him corrections, but you're going to see as soon as we're done with this, he's going to want to be in my lap. This isn't, and another common misconception is that if I correct my dog or punish my dog, that they're going to not like me and be afraid of me. And all we see is dogs who like us more and trust us more.
Correct.
And this is what they do with each other. How do you think your other dogs get respect? There's always the dog who has respect in the pack, right? How do you think he got it? He didn't get it by handing them cookies. He got it by handing them consequences and then treating them respectfully too. Like, we're not we love our dogs, so we treat them good, but we correct them. That's the balance. All right? So I love you, but if you don't follow the rules, here's the consequences. And that's the tough love, and that's what works. That's just what works. If you go too far in either direction, other than like right in the middle with that stuff, there's fallout. If you're too soft and not giving enough punishment, there's fallout. Too much punishment and you don't have enough empathy and soft enough, there's fallout. There's not that balance is perfectly right in the middle. It's like, here's the basic rule. The basic rule is one rule. You listen to me. So that means if I say stop, you stop. And if I say do, you do. That's like the rule. Other than that, there isn't really a bunch of rules. There's little things like don't jump on people and don't bark at the door, but there's not like hundreds of stuff. Just listen. That makes this really easy because they understand that. So once I teach them the commands, they'll only do it if they are who's asking is respected, right? And if they don't respect you, you can earn it. But if they don't respect you, then they will give you a hard time. I mean, come on, we all know that, right? That's life. Good girl. So she's been really friendly and really nice. Good girl.
Yeah, she's been super. We haven't seen any bite attempts since like that second day with the leash. She's been soft, compliant, calm, relaxed. She's been wandering around the play yard more. She even played a little bit with Leo. Unbelievable.
So him making mistakes is not bad. It's good.
Yeah, he's learning.
He's learning.
Look, now he's gonna sit.
Look.
And then you pet it. Good boy.
So you have to give them life lessons like this, right? We have to simulate it because they're not going to get it in the real world. And if they did get it in the real world,
and he lays down.
It's not
pet more.
Good. They're going to get overcorrected by these other dogs out there, because they're not stable either in other households.
Oh my God, that face.
Cutest little guy.
He is the cutest, one of the cutest dogs we have ever had come through. Just
no doubt.
The eyes, the way the eyes are spaced, and then the pouty lips, and it's really cute.
It's ridiculous. It is. And then here's another thing, and it can make it harder to correct.
I know, like even with us.
Because listen, I mean, all I really want to do with him.
Oh, put him on your lap.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
And I probably would if I owned him. Would just have a very small life together, and he would be happy, and so would I. But within the context of that little life, the rule is listen.
Notice how Sparkle's not trying to get in your lap because she's
been
been there. She knows.
Ago.
She already knows.
Same as Isbop.
Yep.
Like Izzy wants to obviously be in my lap too, but there's just so much respect from Izzy. So that's why I always appreciate her, and same with Riggins and Sparky. And I show that to them by feeding them extra good stuff. I like to. That is part of the leader thing. Is hey, look what I have access to, baby. And then also, giving them our one-on-one time and showing them I appreciate them. However, if they break a rule, they get corrected. And I have to go through the discomfort of making sure that's consistent. That's uncomfortable for us because that means if it's 5 a.m. and I have to go do something, then I have to. Right? I have to be consistent. I can't just sometimes be consistent. So that means I have to be dedicated. And that's where the change comes. But it's basic stuff. It's like basic. Don't bark at the door, don't run out the door, like these basic things, and just listen. But if you're not listening, I will consistently correct. But if you are listening, I'll consistently let you know you're awesome. All right? And look, they iron out. They're not looking for a hard day. They're looking to do the most easiest path possible, and that's fun for them and convenient for them. Once they figure out that means listening to the humans, then you get the old thing of man's best friend, or woman's best friend, right? Because then they literally want to please you. Not because you have a cookie in your pocket, but because they literally trust and respect you to such a degree, you are now this, end-all, be-all being in their life. And you see that with our pack, how if we're in the room, they're just kind of like watching us and waiting for us, and not in an anxious way. These guys aren't anxious over here. He's anxious. That's
it'll go away.
Going through it. Oh yeah, we just talked about it with her.
Yep.
It's the same thing. Okay? He's more anxious than her. Interesting, right? So far, in my little time with them, he's more anxious. Significantly. Look, she vibrated a little bit, but he's vibrating and panting, which is another step up. That's not bad though. Like if you're looking at like terrible, that's not terrible. This is pretty typical. Terrible, you would
drooling.
I mean, they are.
Vibrating,
it gets way worse.
yeah.
It gets way. This is not like super bad. Just so you know.
It's mild.
But it is.
Just because he's being asked to stay still.
It is a necessary part of the process. This is him controlling himself, and the more he gets used to doing that, it gets just like Izzy is older now. I use her as an example because she was also very high-strung, anxious dog, just like this guy can be. And she's just a master at the Zen now. She's always just she's fun. She can get that energy up and run around and have a good time on the trails. But when we're inside, her energy is so chill, it makes me calm. However, if your dog's anxious around you, you don't feel that in the room, that's a vibe it's gonna mess up anything, right? It's gonna just make you stressed. Good. Okay, now you stay. And I would encourage trying this once you feel like you have control of them individually. Don't jump to this. When you go home, you're gonna work them one-on-one, right? You need to make sure you have that relationship with each of them separately and then together. Don't try to gain control over them at the same time. That's hard for even a professional. Good. You stay. That's a warning. When I say stay, I'm doing her a solid. I don't have to say stay. This should be a built-in respect.
Buddy.
Hi, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Stop being such a cute little thing.
Like the size of a newborn baby.
Little baby boy. I like this breed so far.
Yeah.
They're hardy, like thick in a good way, so they're not too frail. There's a confidence in them though that I like. I see them kind of stand in a confident way. And boy, they're kind of natural followers, both of them. Once I start working with them, and you'll see they'll just start listening, and they almost enjoy it. I'm like, oh, they're nice little companions. Definitely not pets though. I wouldn't say any dog really is like really just a pet, something you can just feed and pet. They're more like companions. You have to raise them and teach them do's and don'ts. I don't think there's a dog out there that will just be a perfect, oh, I got the perfect dog. When you see a dog doing it, killing it out there, some human behind it helped him along the way to teach them, good. I love it. So I'm talking to you guys, but I would just be chilling here because it's hard for her, see? But she's doing great. Good. Okay, break.
Good job, guys. Oh, nice one.